and Miller LLP.
Motion made by Meg, seconded by?
Julia?
Seconded by Julia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to the business and operations report.
Thank you. I am going to start with transfer, and what this is just a transfer of budgeted items from instructional supplies to adaptive equipment. These are headphones we're testing. We just need to appropriate it into the correct account. And then the next is a transfer, and it is a reclass, sorry. We're just doing some reclasses. Again, we have certain items budgeted in certain areas. They just got coded to the incorrect account, so we're just trying to reclass to move them to the correct account. So I'd be looking for a motion to accept both the transfer and the reclass.
Motion made by?
Julia.
Motion made by Julia, seconded by? Seconded by Beth. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Awesome.
Moving on, you received a packet of job descriptions. During the DTA negotiations, it was decided that the job descriptions really should be updated for a number of DTA members. This includes a teacher, BCBA, guidance counselor, school nurse, school psychologist, special education teacher. We had a great team of principals and other members of the DTA review the job descriptions, also went to principals and other administrators in the school, and everybody is in agreement with our job descriptions.
Awesome.
Just wanted to keep you up to date on those.
I love the formatting, if I just may. I did look at all of them. I love the formatting. It's very simple English on what your job duties are, what's expected of you, right? So I appreciate all the work from the union representation as well as staff and admin coming together to work this in a collaborative environment. I'm really happy with what we've done.
And this ends a 3-year labor of love.
Yes.
We've never had job descriptions.
Yep.
And we started the process about 3-4 years ago, pecking away at it, and it took 3 years for us to complete it. So thank you to Diana and the team of principals and teachers who sat together to go through this. So we can now officially say that everything is covered and we have job descriptions for all of our positions, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Last two items on the list are not surprises. We've kind of been leading up to this work, and we are looking at different fees within the district. What I'd like to talk about tonight are the preschool fees and the athletic fees.
Yep.
I'm going to point first to preschool. What you have is a preschool, the revolving fund balances over the past few years. What you'll see in 25 and 26, I'm going to look at the total revenue line first. We've been holding steady around $180,000 for revenue. Tuition payments haven't really increased at all. When you look down to our expenditures are growing. They grow along with our it's mostly teacher salaries that you are seeing in here, so it is that wage component again. When you get to the revolving fund balance, I actually want to look first at the revenue over expenditures. You'll see from 24 and 25 and 26, we're at a loss, we're losing money, so we're just using what is in our revolving account. Jump down to the balances. My projection for FY26 ending balance is $18,000. If we don't make any changes in this account, we're gonna end FY27 in negative $52,000. What that means is we'll be taking money from the general fund or from school, the money will have to come from someplace else. What I'm proposing for increase is about a 25% increase across the board. The number sounds large. We have not had an increase also, if you look to the projection, the very last column you'll see with the increases, I'm looking to level fund the revolving account, ending the balance at $83. I mean, I'm really just raising it to cover the expenses that have traditionally been carried in this revolving account. If you look down to the bottom, you'll realize that there are actually a couple of FTEs that we're not even funding out of this revolving account. So we are trying to get, again, this goes along with all the balancing of the budget that we are trying to do. Therefore, I am recommending the enclosed increase in tuition for preschool.
Questions?
Through the chair. So, I looked at this earlier and I was struck by the increase. I understand the need for it, and this coupled, you can see why you put them together. Because this, with what you said earlier, I'm like, oh. But really, just focusing in on this issue, taking away, I know everything has to be looked at globally, but looking at just pre-K, because don't you worry, I got things to say about athletic fees. But just about pre-K, I'm looking at our neighboring towns, and we are a lot higher.
Correct.
And so my concern, other than us running in the negative, which is a whole different issue, is that by making such a large hike, I understand the increase, right? I also talked to somebody I know that has a private daycare, and I said, hey, what are your fees? And for pre-K, and she was candid with me, she told me, but that's for a 10-hour day, right? I mean, how long do the kiddos go for a pre-K day? Is it 6 hours, 7 hours?
We
So-
have options for a half day.
I see a half or full, but what's a full day?
7 hours.
7 hours,
But
okay.
also remember that daycare and what we're offering are two different things.
I'm talking about private pre-K,
Okay,
not
okay,
talking about
okay,
daycare.
okay.
So it's
Okay, it's apples to apples.
similar-ish. You know, they do have a longer day. And it's more money, don't get me wrong, but if you break it down by hourly, it's less. So I only bring that up as I was like, if I'm even thinking that we are running against private rates, then I think we're in trouble, especially where we're so much more than neighboring districts. And I didn't realize this, but when I came to Douglas, there was no space in the pre-K program. So I got my daughter into Millbury, and I was like, I can send her to Millbury pre-K. You can because it's private. So I'm worried that parents are gonna have to see this large increase and say, you know what, we're gonna go elsewhere because these neighboring districts are offering similar programs at several $1,000s less. That's my concern.
Okay.
If I understand you're just trying to get us to that 83, like to the 0 mark, so we break even. I'm worried that this is just too much right now.
I have a couple things,
Okay.
a couple points that
Yeah.
I'd like to make. In the first, and I do want to thank Mrs. Sosha for having input in this as well. And one point that we did discuss was these are educated teachers that are these are certified teachers that are teaching our preschool program. So it could kind of, we have to remember we're not offering a daycare.
Sure.
You know, so we are offering a full curriculum for these students. Kind of to go against looking at what these daycare prices might be. The other that I want to bring up is we have looked across our community. Other communities are going up. We don't have their rates yet.
Yep.
And I do believe that with that, we've been so low for so long. I think we're gonna be mid to maybe high next year, but I think everybody else is going to do the catch up as well. And I it's hard for us to compare to a daycare because we're not a daycare.
No, and I use that example, and I want to clarify why I use that example. Simply because the program that I'm talking about, it is actually they're certified, but we don't need to get into that. Like it's truly like, you know, it's got all the higher ups looking at them. So it's legit. But that aside, and it's more money. Don't get me wrong, substantially, but broken down by hours. Yeah. So compare it whatever way you want to. My bigger concern is neighboring districts. I'm also wondering the size of neighboring districts' programs, right? Like where do we fall in the size of our program compared? Like it's easy, like like you said, the more students, sometimes it's a little bit of more affordable.
So other things to.
What do you mean by size?
Size, like how many classrooms?
So we have one 3-year-old and 2 4-year-olds.
So it's pretty small.
So it's pretty small. We have a wait
Yeah.
list, we have a wait list for both
Yep.
of the programs. One of the things which we'll talk about at subsequent meetings is what does expansion look like in space and all that. But your point is, and that was what we wrestled with. It's
Mhm.
like, where's that point where you price yourself out of the market? We do have a wait list, and if we didn't have a wait list, I'd be a little bit more concerned, but knowing that every year, Cindy, what was your wait list this year? I'm sorry if you don't know the numbers, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Right, well, it varies, we do the best we can, so someone might want 5 days and we offer them 3, because that's all we have an opening for. So if everyone signs up for 5 full days, we're gonna be in a bind. So we need that flexibility of having 2-day, 3-day, 5-day, and that's where the numbers come in too. So it's difficult. I mean, we try through the year to get everybody in, but we always start with a wait list of 5 to 10 people in each grade.
Go ahead.
A few things to point out also, we've been about 59, 60 students, but of those each year, this year we have 10 that were free exempt, meaning if they were coming in for services, identified for services, it is free, as well as 2 children on fee waivers. So that has happened the past couple of years as well. So even out of those 60 students, it's 12 this year and 10 last year that were non-paying.